1. Take a moment and look down at yourself. Yes, right at your belly. What do you really see there? Is it more of a soft, pinchable layer gently rolling over your waistband? Is it a firm, round mound, almost as if you swallowed a medicine ball? Or is it a belly that seems to grow uncontrollably, especially during stressful times? Most people out there still believe the same old myth. They think belly fat is just belly fat. You just need to eat less and move more, and it will disappear on its own. But that is a fatal misconception that causes most people to fail miserably. The truth is, your belly is a reflection of what's happening inside you. It tells a story about your liver, your hormones, and your nervous system. We're talking about 3 completely different types of belly fat, each with very different causes. And this is the key point. If you try to starve away a hard liver belly with a standard diet, you won't succeed. If you try to get rid of a stress belly through intense gym workouts, you may actually gain more fat in the end because you're working against your own biology. In this video, we'll decode your personal belly type together. We'll talk about dangerous visceral fat that wraps around your organs, stubborn subcutaneous fat just under the skin, and the notorious stress belly. Today, I'll show you exactly which lever to pull so the fat doesn't just disappear temporarily, but so your metabolism finally starts working for you again. Let's begin. 2. Let's start with the type that is most dangerous to your health. Imagine a middle-aged man. His arms and legs are relatively slim, almost wiry, but in front of them bulges a full, round belly. If you press lightly on it, it barely gives. It feels like a tightly inflated basketball. Many jokingly call this a beer belly, but in medicine, we call it visceral fat. This fat doesn't sit loosely under your skin. It grows deep inside you and wraps itself like a chokehold around your vital organs, your liver, your intestines, and your pancreas. It pushes your abdominal muscles outward from the inside, which is exactly why this belly feels so hard. But why does the fat accumulate there? The main cause is almost always an overburdened liver. Think of your liver as the logistics center of your body. If you supply it with the wrong fuel for years, especially in the form of liquid calories like beer, soda, or supposedly healthy fruit juices, the system breaks down. Fructose in particular is directly converted into fat in the liver. Your liver becomes clogged and starts storing this emergency load directly in your abdominal cavity. Here's where most people fail. Jogging alone won't help you. You can do as much cardio as you want, but as long as your engine is clogged, your body will never release this protective fat. You don't need to train your liver. You need to relieve it. The first step is radical but effective. Eliminate all liquid calories. Your body needs water, not liquid energy that shoots straight into your liver. Second, bring bitter compounds back into your life. In the past, our foods were full of them. Today, everything is bred to be sweet. Reach for arugula, chicory, or artichokes. These bitter substances act like a spring cleaning for your bile and your liver. They signal your metabolism. The cleansing begins. Only when your liver can breathe freely again will that hard medicine ball belly begin to melt. 3. Let's move on to the second type. One many of us know all too well when we stand in front of the mirror in the morning. You grab your belly and suddenly feel a soft, yielding layer between your fingers. It almost feels like soft pizza dough. This fat sits directly under the skin, often in the lower abdomen or around the hips. In medicine, we call it subcutaneous fat. It's less life-threatening than visceral fat, but incredibly stubborn and frustrating. Why is the fat located there? The answer lies in your hormonal fingerprint. Imagine your hormones as the conductors of an orchestra. When protective estrogen fluctuates in women during menopause or testosterone gradually declines in men over 50. The orchestra loses its rhythm. Your body no longer receives a clear signal to maintain muscle. Instead, it switches to energy-saving mode and stores energy as soft emergency reserves, exactly where we don't want it, around the belly. But there's also an invisible enemy in your daily life. We're surrounded by plastic bottles, coated cans, and cosmetics. The chemicals in them, like the infamous BPA, act like fake hormones in your body. They occupy the receptors of real hormones and constantly whisper to your metabolism, "Store more fat, store it now." The solution for this type is not hours of sweating on the treadmill. You need to show your body that it's still needed. The key is gentle but targeted strength training. Just 2 to 3 sessions per week. Simple chair squats or light resistance band exercises are enough. This sends a clear signal to your genes. We still need this muscle. Burn fat instead. And very importantly, protect your hormonal system from false signals. Replace plastic containers in your kitchen with glass and never heat food in plastic in the microwave. When you remove this invisible burden from your hormonal system, your body finally regains the freedom to shed that soft fat on its own. 4. Now let's talk about a phenomenon that almost feels eerie. It's the belly that seems to grow exactly when life gets most stressful. Do you know that feeling? Your schedule is packed, your nights are short, worries about the future weigh on your mind, and suddenly your pants feel tight, even though you barely had time to eat. This is the work of cortisol, our most powerful survival hormone. Imagine living in a constant state of alert. Your body doesn't distinguish between a wild animal chasing you and an unread email from your boss. To your brain, both are life-threatening. In this state, something crazy happens. Cortisol begins breaking down valuable muscle in your legs and glutes. It converts this protein into sugar to give you instant energy to escape. But here's the problem. You don't run. You sit at your desk or stare at your phone under stress. Your blood sugar spikes, even though you haven't eaten. Immediately, insulin steps in and pushes all that unused energy straight into belly fat. The result? Your arms and legs get thinner, while your belly gets rounder. Your body is essentially breaking down its own foundation to feed the life buoy. And here's the biggest mistake almost everyone makes. When they notice this stress belly, they jump into extreme interval training or heavy lifting to burn it off. But in this state, intense training is like pouring gasoline on an open fire. It drives cortisol even higher, and your body clings even tighter to its fat. The solution to a stress belly is not intensity, it's recovery. You must calm your nervous system. The most important lever is sleep, because poor sleep signals to your body that it's in danger. The second step is what I call the anti-cortisol walk. 45 minutes of brisk walking in nature, without your phone, without music. Nature and steady movement significantly reduce cortisol. Give your body the signal that the danger is over. Only when stress hormones drop will your body finally release belly fat. 5. Have you ever wondered why our grandparents or great-grandparents rarely struggled with these major body composition issues? They didn't have fitness apps, calorie trackers, or fancy gyms. And yet, they often stayed lean and fit well into old age. The secret wasn't their genes, it was their rhythm. Our ancestors didn't snack. There was no constant nibbling, no bag of chips in front of the TV, no sweetened latte on the go. Their bodies had breaks, and those breaks are the holy grail of your metabolism. When you eat constantly, you constantly release insulin, and as long as insulin circulates in your bloodstream, the door to your fat cells remains tightly shut. Your body burns only the sugar from your last meal, but never touches your belly fat. The solution is as old as humanity itself: intermittent fasting. Give your insulin the break it desperately needs. A 16 to 8 rhythm, 16 hours of fasting, and an 8-hour eating window often works like magic. Overnight and into the morning, your body finally has time to tap into real reserves. But what if you recognize yourself in more than one belly type? What if you have a hard belly from stress at work, combined with a glass of wine in the evening? Don't worry. Nature doesn't work in neat categories. If you have a mixed type, always prioritize your nervous system and your liver first. Calm the stress, relieve the liver by spacing out meals, and you'll see your body begin to release fat almost on autopilot. It's not about eating less, but about eating smarter and in the right rhythm. 6. We're coming to the end of our journey, but for you, this is just the beginning. I want to leave you with one thing. Be patient with yourself. Your belly didn't appear overnight. It's the result of years of stress, hormonal changes, or a liver that has simply been overworked. So don't expect it to disappear in 3 days. Your body is not a machine that you can reprogram at the push of a button. It's a living organism that needs time to heal. True patience is not passive waiting. It's the daily, consistent execution of the small steps we discussed today. Give your body the next few months to reduce inflammation and restore metabolic balance. Start small today. You don't need to overhaul your entire life at once. Simply replace that glass of soda or sweet juice with a cup of bitter tea or a glass of lemon water. Give your body an extra hour of sleep or take a short walk in nature. These tiny decisions are what ultimately make the biggest difference. Once you understand the mechanism behind your belly, it loses its power over you. You now have the knowledge and the tools. Trust the process, trust your body, and just begin.